My name is Sarah Wiekert, and this is my presentation on Native American, the oral tradition. We'll be discussing the importance of storytelling to the Native Americans. My aunt is a storyteller for our ancestors of the Virginia Hills of the 1800s. She relates these stories to keep alive the traditions and histories of the people. This is just one of the several reasons the Native Americans have their storytelling. There are several types of stories that Native Americans share in their storytelling. I will be discussing 3 different types of them. Before the arrival of Europeans and the spread of European influence, Native Americans didn't use written language. As a result, their myths and legends were passed from generation to generation in oral form, usually by special storytellers who sometimes used objects such as stone carvings, shells, rugs, or pottery to illustrate the tales. Mythology, religion, history, and ritual were not separate things to Native Americans. They were all woven together in various tales that defined people's identity and gave order and meaning to their lives. The most important of these were myths about how gods created the universe and about the origins of important things such as humans, landforms, food, and death. Some questions that were asked in these forms of tales were: who and what am I? Where did I come from? Why am I here? How should I live? What is the right thing to do? What is the universe? And how did it all begin? The first story I'm going to talk about is the creation myth. It explains such things as everyday natural occurrences, such as the weather-related events, how the world was made, and explain their own beginnings. An example of a creation myth comes from the Cherokee creation myth, which says how long ago a great island floated in a giant ocean. There was no people, and it was always dark. The animals and plants were told to stay awake for 7 days and 7 nights, but most could not sleep. And the plants that didn't sleep, such as the pine, were rewarded by being green year-round. The animals that stayed awake, such as the owl, were rewarded by being able to travel at night. Another form of story was hero myths. Those were important because they were where ordinary men were given superhuman powers, and it gave tribesmen a sense of pride within their people. It also teaches people how to live while making the world a suitable place for humans. The short story I found was from the White River Sioux called The Rabbit Boy. The rabbit boy was born out of dirt by a rabbit. He was to marry a village girl, but was killed by jealous boys in the village. The rabbit boy came back to life and married the girl by singing a song to the sun. This is about humans stemming from nature but being able to ascend. The final one I'm going to discuss in the storytelling is the sense of history and our personal accounts. These are important even as much so in present times, as they are told to the next generation to teach lessons and traditions of the histories of the Native people. It offers a gift of living language, including ways to connect with each other. This story is from a Ojibwe man on a more recent personal story. And he says, I was standing next to the road with my friend, and we were laughing at each other. An elderly man walked by and thought we were laughing at him and stared at us. I ran home and scared and told Ma and Pa. Ma was startled and insisted I go back to the elder and apologize and give the elder tobacco. I went back and apologized and gave the old man tobacco, and then went back home. Father said never ever laugh at the elders when you're standing someplace. Hold the elders in high regard. For one time the elders are going to watch over you and take care of you in various endeavors. Above all, each Native story is a part of each other, which ends up being a part of a whole. Each story, in its own way, fills in a section of the larger narrative, giving us a fuller sense of life. Finally, I'm going to give the students a quiz of 10 questions regarding the presentation, and then the activity I would have them do is write a narrative poem or story about a family tradition or a personal experience. And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you.